Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this other video tutorial that I'm making on the same series that I started working on access forms. In the last video I couldn't finish working on the access forms because I lost power and my computer was about to go off anytime soon. So what I'm gonna do today is simply to continue from where I left from. Um, in the other video. Um, so we were actually discussing the point that we needed to make our fields, our labels to be visible enough or to have enough field space so that the data that they hold is actually visible. And the last thing I think that I was doing the other video was to resize these text boxes for English because the data that they are going to hold is not so much a lot of data for them to be very wide field, so to say. Okay, so I wanted to put in some instructions that should also instruct or tell the people or the person who's going to be working on this form what exactly is supposed to be put in as they fill in this form. And so this is what where I left from. So the other thing that we're going to do is just to do some layout rearrangements here. If you can see, we've got some text boxes. Just preview this one and then we'll be able to criticize it very well once we preview it. Pardon me guys, I've got I was not feeling well over the weekend, so my voice hasn't yet uh, gotten back to form, so to say. Yeah, but I should be fine in the course of the week. But that shouldn't stop me from making these videos. Um, yeah, so like I was saying, pretty much the layout this side is very much straight, it's aligned nicely, and the layout this side is perfect. I don't think there is any issue here in terms of the layout. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just to put up some instructions. Remember we said that we needed to put up instructions that will be able to show the user exactly what they're supposed to do. Fine, we've done very well on this other end. We've put up proper instructions that are showing the user really what the person is supposed to do. Okay, so um, I'm gonna go back into design view, and up here you have what are known as controls. Okay, so on these controls there are a lot of controls that access uses for your forms that you can you can use, and a number of these controls are actually important that you know them. Okay, because they are some of the most powerful features that you're going to use as you design forms. Things like checkboxes, like this one. This tick is a checkbox. Pictures, attachments, option buttons. Okay, things like group. Um, 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 Group caption boxes, things like tabs. Okay, this is a group caption box. Then you have things like labels and bound data and so on, charts and lists, and there are just so many lines and stuff. There are a lot of these controls that you are supposed to use for your form. So all these are known as controls. Okay, so when you design your form, controls are supposed to be dragged onto your form, but in this case you can just click once on a control, and then once you click on a control, for example, if I want to get this one, which is just a label, I click on it once, and you see that automatically that on my form, when I hover my mouse, it has got something attached to it, which is like the letter A, which is showing you this is supposed to be text. It's a label. So I want to put a label there. Okay, so the other thing that I should have mentioned is that, let me just undo this so that you see it properly. The other thing that I should mention is that when you take your mouse there, click and hold and then drag to resize this to get the size that you want. Okay, so in this case I want to put up some instructions to say For let me just put note. Okay. For the subjects, let's say English, then math, and science. Okay, let me just for science. Okay, then enter only. So for the sake of the text being, let me just preview this one, how it's going to look. What I want to do is that I don't want the text to be too long, like going all the way this side when there is nothing. I just want the text to be focused around here. So let's go back to design view. For it's supposed to be arrow. So for the subject science, whatever, then let me cut this so that I shorten the text box, then drag it here, then put another text box. Okay, just there maybe. Let me say enter only initials. Okay, three initials for the teacher names maybe. Okay, three initials for the teacher names. So let's preview it one more time. There you go. So it says not for the subjects English, math, science, enter only three initials for the teacher names. Okay, so at least it will give an idea to the person that actually here what is supposed to do is this, what is supposed to do is this, what is supposed to do is this. Okay, so that is that. So the other thing that I want to show you guys, sometimes you may be asked to design to add let's say a new element or a new control that will capture data and is supposed to pass it on to your database. Okay, and so how you'll be able to do that is that you should be able to create first of all a new field in your database or in your table. Okay, you should be able to create a new field in your table. So you go back to your table, and then you should be able to add another field in this table. Okay, which should be reflected in your form, so to say. Okay, I know this may not make sense what I'm trying to say here, but when you see me do it, that's when it will really make sense. Let's go back to our form and get to design view. Okay, so let me just close this. Okay, so let me just close the tables. So it's important that we close the tables before we can so let's go to design view. Now I want to add a new field here, and the field that I want to add, let's go back here. No, just close this one. Let's go back to this one. What I want to put another field down here which is showing the form or the year group for the student. Okay, so this student, are they form 1s, are they form 2s, are they form 3s or form 4s or form 5s? Okay, or are they A levels? Okay, so we want to put something that can capture that there. And I say, like I said in the other video, that I was going to use option button for to be able to do that. So before I even put an option button here, I need first of all to create in the database a field which is going to be holding the values of which is going to be holding the form values, so to say. Okay, so I'm gonna close this once more and go back to student DB, then go to design view, and I'm gonna put student, or let me just put class. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Class, it's gonna be short text, and then so I don't need to change anything here. I'm okay with short text, so I'm gonna go back save this one, close it, close this one rather, open this one, and then now I'm going to go to design view, and this time around I want to put in something to capture the class. Okay, so I don't know where I'm going to put it exactly. Okay, so let me just put it okay, so let me see where is the option button, this one. So click it and then drop it somewhere around. Okay, so this is but there is one that shows multiple values. Let me just check for that one. I want to use one. This is just one option button, but you can use multiple of them. Just drop multiple of them. But what I want to do is I want to put one that shows multiple values. Let me see. Okay, this one. No. Option group. Let me see. Just wait, guys. Combo box. Combo box shows toggle. Come on, where did I see that one? There's somewhere where I haven't used it. Forgotten where I picked it up from. Option group. Let's pick up this one. So drop it there. Yeah, it's supposed to be this one, option group. Okay, so what I want to do is that option group works the same way as option button. The only difference is that with option group you have you can only select one of the buttons in the group at a time. With option buttons you can select multiple buttons. Okay, I'll show you just in a moment. So what I want to do, I want to put class. Let's say class this is form 1K, and then another class is form 2B, another class form 3G maybe, another class form 5T, another class form 6 from 6W maybe. Okay, yeah, we don't have form 4s there, so it doesn't matter, it's just for illustration purposes. Okay, so then the next thing that you're supposed to do is go to next, and then here it says, do you want one option to be the default choice, so that if for example you haven't selected any, that choice should be the one there. So if you go back, let me just put the default choice to be, let me say select select class. Okay, the default choice should be select class, and then I'll make this one select class as the default choice. So what happens is that is going to appear first, indicating to them that hey, you need to select class. Or you can easily go back there, just edit this and say maybe class not selected. Yeah, that makes sense, class not selected, so that if the person doesn't select the class, at least you can test to say the class actually was never selected. Okay, so that is very important. So let's go erase that. So class not selected, next, and then yeah, next, what value do you want to assign to you? Okay, so these are the values. So this one, class not selected, let's make it 0, and then next, and then store value in the field. Now this is very important. So this one is at the point at which it links to the database, the table student DB that you created. So you need to select a field from the table. So remember, we created a field, new field called class, and this is where the values that are going to be captured by this option group button or option group buttons are going to be dumped into the class field that we created in the student DB. So then you put next, and then I don't need to change here, just showing me the sample how it's going to look. This is the name that is going to be displayed, and then you have the classes, and then you can select the different values from the classes. Okay, you can use checkboxes, you can use option buttons. If I use checkboxes, you see that people will be ticking there, but we don't want to be ticking because we want only one value to be selected. And then next, and then give the name to the frame. So this one is going to be please. Again, you give them a meaningful message, enter class. Okay, and then say okay, and then you automatically see that. So let me just remove this one there, I don't need it anymore. And then I'm gonna think I'm gonna get this, that okay, let me just highlight everything together. To highlight everything together, what you simply need to do is click on the blank space and then drag your mouse like that, and then you would have highlighted everything. So what I want to do is to just align this and take it up there. Okay, take it up there, or I can comfortably just enlarge my form a bit. Can I enlarge my form a bit? Yeah. Okay, and then drag this so that it is aligned just up there. So let's go ahead and preview this, and you will see that it looks somewhat neat. It is at the far end there. After entering their name and stuff, then you need to select the class. So when you click there, you can select one of the options there. Okay, you can select one of the options there. So that is very important. So this control that I've just put there is now linked to the database, and whichever value I put there, and if I hit save or what, it appears in the database. Okay, so that should be very fine. Right, so the next thing that I would want maybe to put there is that this instruction maybe should stand out. It shouldn't be the same text like this. Maybe let's make it red so that people know that this instruction actually is supposed to, it's not just ordinary text, it's actually some instruction. And maybe even make the font a little bit larger so that people understand that this is an instruction and it's not just necessary. So select the two texts. Let's go to format, and I'll put them in red and give them font size of 14 maybe. Yeah, and then just enlarge maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'll drag them this side. Let me see how. Yeah, enter only 3 initials for the teacher name, so I need just to drag this, select this one, and just drag it a little bit, drag it there a little bit. Alternatively, I can just reduce the font size to 12. Yeah, so resize it a bit. Yeah, so the instruction should now stand out. At least it's in the middle, it's red. Somebody is able to tell that okay, this is the instruction. So what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna add one more control. Now remember, I didn't have instruction telling me what to do with this one. We're just dealing whatever we can find to do and stuff. So the next thing that I want to show you is how to use let's say a combo box. Okay, combo box is it's a drop down menu, also a drop down list, so to say. And for example, I want to put something there for let's say gender, the gender of the student, okay, whether they are male or whether they are female. Okay, so let me just put the combo box here, and then it says this wizard creates a combo box which displays the list of whatever, and then I'll type in the value that I want. So next, then the value that I want is, I want age to be not age, I meant to say I want gender. So if the person is male or the person is female. Okay, and going back there, now the only thing that I've not done, so this is gender, is that I didn't create in the database a field for gender. Okay, so this value may not be attached to the database. So what I need to do is to go to the database first. I need to save this one, save it, close it, and then go to design view for this one, and then put in another field maybe called gender. So let's insert row, not there, just after name, insert row, and then we can put in gender there, and then gender is going to be male or female. So it's just going to be if you want to save on file size, you can put it just as a character or short text, but where you have to work on is under field size. You can reduce the size of the field. Maybe you need just maximum 6 characters. Okay, and this is where you do your validation rules. Remember, in the in the in the in the exam, sometimes you are asked to add proper validation rules. Here I don't have a proper example where I can use to add proper validation rules, but you can add some validation rules that you can come up with. Okay, like if it was a numeric value, for example, let me just give you a very good example. Let's say this gender was age, and then this was integer. Okay, it's supposed to be let's say it will be a number. Okay, and under validation rules, okay, for example, I would want, first of all, the data in the field, maybe the age should never be more than 200. We don't have people who are living today above 200 years, and we don't have also people who are living below 0 years. So you want your field to really be like age to be age to be let me say age should be greater than 0, and let's say age less than 100. Okay, so I don't know, there should be some functions that are built in that you can use, but I don't know if there's any that can compare this now. But this is an example of a validation. I don't want my age to be above. Okay, age should be above 0, and age should be less than 100 maybe, or less than 200, which means I've restricted that only numbers that are up to this much should be allowed to go into this this field. Okay, so let's go to datasheet view, save the table. Data integrity tools have been changed, whatever. This process may take a long time. Do you want to save this TSTS? Okay, yes. So where did I put the age? Okay, my computer keeps on freezing. So if I put in 500 there, it says one or more values are prohibited by validation rule. Age, whatever set for student enter a value expression for this field, can whatever. So you can even put some text that is going to appear, but if you put, say, a value between 50 and that, you will see that 50 is accepted there. So this is how you work with validation rules. Okay, pardon me guys, I'm just touching there, touching here, touching there, because I don't really have specific questions that I'm working on that are asking me to do this. I'm just bringing in this concept and bringing that concept so that you just feel. So I just sort of validation rules. Somebody asked me some time back validation rules, and this is an example of how you can set validation rules. So if you go back to design view, you will see that my validation rule is actually validating the edge field, so that the edge can only be between that and that. Okay, so that should be that. So I'm gonna delete the edge field because I don't need it, or maybe for the sake of this video let me just leave it there, because if I delete it again, people may want so let me just put edge, and then let me just put gender, as we need a gender. Okay, so save it, then close this one. Let's go back to our form, and then here we have gender. So what I'm gonna do is to just go to layout view, drag this to the right, okay, and drag this to the right as well, so that it is just there. Okay, let me just put it there. Yeah, then just make sure that it is aligned nicely. Okay, that should be fine. Then let's go back to form view. Okay, so there you want the person to select male or female. Okay, so what you need to do now is to attach this control to the field that you just created in student DB called gender. Okay, so I don't know how far I've gone utilizing the time in this video. 19, let's see, 27 minutes. Okay, so this video is gonna take long. Let me just do it for 1 hour so that I don't really come back to do another video on this same. I'm sorry it's gonna take a bit long because there are other things I want to show you, and I really don't want to cut, because once I cut again I start to do another stuff. It's getting late where I am. It's almost 8:30 and I have to go home. I'm in the office, so so yeah, so let me just attach this control to the database. Now I don't know if I can attach this, because the option for attaching this was found when we were so let me just go back to form property. Is it form property or no? This property of this one, I don't know if it is here where I can attach event. No. Guys, what I'm gonna have to do is I can't really find an option here for attaching this to the database, because the values that are coming from here must be saved in the database. Okay, so I really don't find an option here for attaching that. Once I figure out the way of doing that, then I can show you later in another video. But in this video, really what I want, I'm gonna just remove this one and then put up a different one. That was a drop down list, so put up a different one, and then I want to type in the values, and then I'm going to put male, and then I'm going to put female there. Okay, let's F be capital, female, and then next, and then store value in this field. Then you can select the fields from your database that are there. So in this one, I want to be storing the values always in the gender field. Okay, so next, and then this one is going to be called gender, and finish. Okay, so let's just rearrange this nicely. Okay, let's preview it, and there you go. So gender and whatever. So let me just yeah, that looks fine. Okay, it looks fine, but like I said, the layout also matters. We don't have to jumble so much information, you know, but this is just for the sake of demonstrating how you can use control boxes here and attach them to your database. Okay, so I'll go back here. So this one is attached to the database. If I put in values, it will be saved, they will be saved into the database. So what other control can I pick up there before I begin to wind up? Okay, a checkbox. What do we need the checkbox for? What can we use a checkbox for? Okay, there is also tab. A tab would have been nice if in the first place what we had with what we had created, we opted to go for a tab. You know what a tab does is that it's like the way I'm switching between these tabs. That's the way that this tab also works. It's a very powerful tool. I don't think you will be asked about it in the exam, but it is a very powerful tool if you want to pursue databases and access and stuff. It's a very powerful tool when you design databases, because what I would have done, I would have created one tab to enter only the details of the student, then the other tab to enter the details of the teacher, then the other tab to enter any other details related maybe to the exams, their grades and stuff, their achievements, their extracurricular activities, and all these will be in different tabs. And the way you use the tab is very simple. Just drag and drop it there, and then just put the objects or the controls that you need there, switch to another tab, put the controls that you need there, switch to another tab, put the controls that you need there, just like that. Okay, so that is very straightforward for you to work with. Okay, so guys, the other thing that I want to talk about, one of my followers actually pointed out in the last video that I was on this part here that let's go to form view, where I was talking about the navigation here. I was saying this navigation will help you to move, traverse between the records and stuff. Okay, so he was pointing out to say, well, you can actually put some buttons on the form, which can also do the same thing that this one is doing, or which can help you maneuver that. Yeah, that's very true, and I did agree to him that that's very true. It can do the same thing that this stuff is doing here. You can put buttons on your form for maneuvering and stuff, but if the database that you are creating is just, I mean, going to be used within an Access application, I mean, these buttons will do the same thing that those buttons that he was referring to would do. But what I want to show you also is, suppose in the exam you were asked to do that. It was a very good observation that he did point out, and I did not see it in the way that he was trying to put it across, because sometimes in the exam, yes, you may be asked to put the actual buttons there onto your form, okay, and not having just these buttons down there. So what I'm gonna do is to go back to design view, and let's try to create some of these navigations that are there. So the navigations that we are going to put up there are next, previous, okay, save, I don't know what other, delete a record, add a record and stuff, which of course you will find at the bottom corner of the screen there in the form view. Okay, so the option for button, this one here, when you click it and drag it there, so drag it there, and you have record navigation. Okay, there is find next record, find record, go to first record, go to last record, go to next record, go to previous record. All these are okay, but there is also record operation. Okay, so under record operation, pardon me guys, my computer seems to be reacting again. Under record operation, this is what you can do to the record. Okay, there is add new record, delete record, duplicate record, print record, save record, and do record. So save record, like for example, is very important because after we are done entering a new record, we definitely need to save that record. So we'll come back to here. Then there are also other form operations that you can put there, like close the form. Okay, open the form, print a form, print current form, and stuff like that. Okay, these are also very, very important. Okay, and then there are report, okay, where you can mail report, open report, and stuff like that. Okay, and all these. So I'm just gonna deal with the first two maybe, or the first three quickly, and then we can close with this video. So I'll start with record navigation. I want first of all to go to the next record, something that can go to the next record and something that can go to the previous record. So the first one we start with is one that takes us back to the previous record. Okay, so next, and then this one takes us to the previous record. So select the one that is showing picture, because it will put some picture icon there. If you select the one that shows just record, it will just put previous record. It depends also really with what you want, or if the exam asked you with a text that is showing previous record. But I love this one. This one looks cool. I mean, just by there taking your mouse there, you can I mean, tell that this one is there. Okay, it looks cool. You will see why I say it looks cool. And then next one, and then a meaningful name that will help us. This is previous. Okay, so this is previous, and once there you see the nice button there. If you go to view, form view, you see a very nice button there. And this button, if you say for example you were in record number 10, if you click this button, you keep the records will keep on going back to the previous ones until you get to the last record. Okay, then the next one, let's go back to design view. Let's put in another button, and but this one will be for going to the next one. So if I go to next record, and then I'll leave it as it is, next, and then this is next. Hit on finish, and then just reposition this one nicely. I want it to be aligned properly with the other one. Yeah, much better. Then I'm gonna put another button this time around. So I've got next. Now I need to put add a record. Okay, so find next. I don't need to find any record. I'll leave that. I'll go to the buttons under record operation. I can add a new record. Next, and then a picture shows there you're adding a new record. Or if you want text, it will say add record. Okay, but picture, okay, go to new. Okay, when you say pencil edit, it leaves the values that are there, and then it kind of shows the person what is supposed to be there. Pencil edit, like you get the picture of a pencil inside there, but I'll leave it to go to new, something like that icon symbol there. And then let's put this is add, okay, and finish. Okay, command, okay, there. And then one more, this is if we can add a record, then we need also to delete a record or save a record. Okay, if we've added a record, then we can save a record. That picture looks okay. Then I'll say save. Okay, and the last one for these ones, I'll put up pardon me, my computer keeps on not responding here and there. And the last one I'll put up save record. There is also print record and stuff, and you can connect that to your printer and all, and got that. And then this one is what? This is delete. It might come getting save. I've done it. I need to get delete. Okay, and you can put a trash bin there, and but that one looks fine. Then say delete. Okay, and so the only thing that just remains is you now to rearrange these buttons so that they look well presentable. So what I'm gonna do is go to form and preview them. So you see that all these buttons you've put there, and they look absolutely beautiful. And you can navigate going to there. I can delete this record. Okay, you are about to delete one record, and I say yes. I can go to a new record, add a new record, and you see that it will be blank here, and I can put in the values that I want. Okay, so okay, so I don't know what record I'm on now. I'm gonna put record 12, and first name, let's just say Maria, and last name, let's just say Mutinta. Teacher, let's say GKF. Math teacher, HTY, and then this one HTC, not the phone. Then gender, say male, and then the form, say form 6, and then click on save. Okay, so one or more values are prohibited, whatever. So age, right. So the problem that we did is that we haven't put in a field for age here, and thank you that this message has come up here, so that at least we learn the hardware. We didn't put any field that is capturing for age, and so age is not expected to be blank in there. Okay, so the best that you can do is to also put in a field that can capture age, but the problem that is going to be there, can I delete this? Okay, fine. Yeah, I can delete that. The problem that let me just close this, save it, yes, go back to design view, and let's put up one control for age. Okay, so age is going to be a text box. Okay, so at least you know how to use a text box, and I'm gonna drag it there so that it is just away from there. Now a text box comes with two things. There is what is known as unbound, and there is what is written here, text 65, for example. Unbound, it's where it is linked to the text box itself, where the value that will be in that text box is going to be, and then the text is just the label. Okay, so for the label I want to put age. Okay, and then what I want to do also is that I want to at least push this in this side, so that I push unbound close to age. There's so much gap between unbound and age, so just push this one this side. Okay, but the other thing that I've not done is actually to link this one with to link it with the database. Okay, this is the problem that I encountered even in the other one, that I didn't link it with the database. Okay, so it's really very so data source. Okay, yeah, I see a data record source, then student DB, and then query builder, and don't know what's going to happen here. Okay, now we're doing something that is just different. Let me just go back to close this. Okay, let me just close this. Nope. What I want to do is to link this value that I have here in the control, and be able to link it so that it can be dropped inside the age field in the database. Okay, so pardon me, I'll figure out a way of doing this one, guys. It's been many years I worked with forms and stuff, so most of the stuff they just come into mind here and there, but so caption is student data. Okay, this is the form. This is the form. It has nothing to do with this one. So control source. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's supposed to be under control source. Yeah, thank God we finally found it. So it's supposed to be age. Okay, I'm sure that's that's the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it's going to flag an error. Let's try to preview it. Yeah, so record 1 age is 50. Okay, so, and that is true. Record 2 doesn't have that. This, the other one doesn't have that. So now let's try to create a new record and see what's going to happen. So this is record 13. The name is Maria, and the last name is let's say Mtinta, and KHT, then HYG, then HTC, and then gender, this is female, and then let's say age, this girl is 18, and then she's from 6, and then let's hit save, and there you go. Now, so the record has been saved. So if you go to record 11, then record 13 will also automatically appear, and it will be part of that. So you can maneuver between these records and go back, and you see that the record has been saved in the database. So this is how you can add a text box. So guys, I'm glad I've figured out a way of linking it, the unbound text box to its corresponding field in the database. You just go to control source, and then you select the fields that you want to link from there. So this has been very helpful. Thank you. Okay, so what else have I not talked about? I don't know if there's anything that I've not talked about. Let me see from them. The other thing that, guys, is very powerful here is that you can even put a browser actually in your form. Okay, it's just unfortunate here that I don't have much space to start putting up a browser, but you can put up a browser and it will work perfectly from your form. Okay, so I for one, someday I want to create a program that will do that, so that people can be browsing from my Access database instead of going to Google and stuff like that. Okay, so I mean Firefox and all. So anything else that I've left out here? I don't know if there's anything else, guys, that I've left out. The only thing I didn't do is the checkbox. The checkbox is very important. Okay, so maybe I should put up a checkbox just for illustration purposes here. Okay, and then let's put up another checkbox. So these checkboxes, they have different, or they may have different there may be multiple of them. Like I said, checkboxes, you can select multiple values from checkboxes, and so if you put up that, then you need also to specify when the person ticks a check, where is that data saved, for what reason, what value is being saved. So you need also to select also the value under control source here. Okay, so yeah, so let's preview our form one more time, and there you go with the checkboxes, so you can be able to tick there, but you should have linked these to your database there. Okay, so guys, I hope this has been an hour or so. Okay, it's just 48 minutes before an hour. Okay, so I don't know if there's anything else that I need really to go by quickly before the hour elapses. Okay, let me see, let me go back to design view. I don't know if there's anything that I need to go through before the hour elapses. So the other thing that I had, like, remember about the key features that we talked about, that a form needs to have. So we said the form, we should group similar fields together. Okay, like for example, we used option group radio buttons here because we are talking about a class, and so all these have been grouped together, and the first part of it, of this form, actually deals with the personal information about this person. Okay, so that is also fine, and the last part also deals about the subject teachers and all. We should have proper instructions on how to fill in these things. So for example, age doesn't really give proper instruction, but if you say it, enter age, it would make really some sense. Enter gender, it would make some sense. Or what is your gender, what is your age, all those things would make really some sense. and so there should be enough white spaces. I've noticed that towards the end we began just dumping information there, and the information is becoming too cluttered, but that also can be worked on. We should have proper navigation. Now we do have proper navigation. At the bottom there we have the previous, the next, and stuff, and you saw how I was putting in these navigations and stuff. And then you should have use of drop down menus. I don't know if I put up, yeah, we put up a drop down menu. Remember, gender is a drop down menu, drop down list, so to say. So you click there, you see male, female, and you can select that. That also makes your work look neat. And I was showing you in the other video yesterday that it actually makes the work easy. Like for example, you are under format, and yeah, was it under format when I was showing you that, or that was in Word, where you click on something and then the menu just pops out. Like for example, this one just pops out and looks beautiful, but whenever it's not in use, it is always like that. Okay, so these are very important features that you can put there. Your title needs to be outstanding. We did talk about that, and all. So guys, if you have any more questions on forms and stuff, please do comment them out on these under these videos. I do enjoy making these videos, so to be honest with you, and it's my passion really, and I'm learning a lot as well as I'm making these videos, because I mean, I was never trained in this stuff. I was never trained in this stuff. I'm a software developer by profession, so most of this stuff I'm learning. We are helping each other, and we are learning this stuff, and I'm loving it. Okay, I'm loving it, and I'm enjoying it all the way. And so I hope what I've the information I've shown you, that I've put up so far, I'm sure it should be sufficient enough for you to handle a question from Access Access database forms point of view. Okay, so I'll see you in another video. I'll continue working on working on the 2015 June papers. I think I should be done with the 2016 paper. No, there is one more paper remaining, one more section remaining. I think that should be mail match or so, and presentation, and I should be able to put up that in the course of the week. For the guys who are writing the exams, is it next week or so? You guys take your time, revise, practice, and just do all you can to to secure the very best of the marks from the exam. I'm trying to chew and queue sometimes, so my video can be just about an hour, but now I see 52 minutes. I can't be talking just for 8 minutes to kill some time. All right guys, love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment, and comment anything, improvements and stuff. I love it when you guys just throw out your ideas. You guys are so intelligent. All right, so see you in the next video.